Listen as he goes on to unpack this and see if you see the inconsistencies here.
In order to make you feel absolutely desperate. Not everybody is given the privilege of realizing they can't produce their own faith. You have that privilege. That may sound strange.
Yes. Yeah, it does sound strange, because what you're ultimately saying is God's withholding the grace that you need to believe in him so as to make you realize that you can't believe in him. And so this is where it gets down to the bottom line of what Calvinism is. Calvinism ultimately is, in a nutshell, is you are born unable to want God unless he wants you. And if he does want you, he will make you want him. Therefore, if you don't want him, it must be because God doesn't want you. That's the natural conclusion of the Calvinistic worldview. And again, I know Calvinists wouldn't put it that way, and they don't want to say it that way, but what's wrong about what I just said? What's inaccurate about what I just said? Is it that you don't believe that you're born unable to want God? Because that's what total inability teaches. So that's accurate. You're born unable to want God unless he wants you. That's unconditional election. God unconditionally chose to want you to be saved, and either he did or he didn't. Okay, so unless God wants you, that's accurate of Calvinism, of the 5 points, is it not? What have I misstated so far? You're born unable to want God unless God wants you, unconditionally elects you, and if he does want you, he will make you want him. That's irresistible grace. Okay, so that's the 3 points: the T, the U, and the I of TULIP. Clearly stated. It may not be palatable in the way you want it described, but how is that inaccurate? How is that a misrepresentation of Calvinism? You were born unable to want God unless God wants you, and if he wants you, he will make you want him back. That's Calvinism. How do you counsel somebody who feels like they don't want God if you believe those 3 tenets are true? You do it just like John Piper is here. God is withholding the grace from you to make you desperate. Of course, he's assuming that this person's actually elect. Maybe this person is a reprobate that's responding to the sheer fact of the realization that they're reprobate. And how would you know whether that person's really reprobate or not? There's no way for you to be able to consistently counsel this person, at least in a genuine way. You would have to say to them, I think if you're being completely genuine, if God really wants you, he'll make you want him back. And you just got to be patient with that. And so, again, I just think this is where these kinds of teachings are just completely impractical.